Good afternoon, everyone. This is ARPAS-UK Fireside Chat number 2. ARPAS-UK is a trade body representing the drone industry in the UK. And I am very delighted to welcome Rupert. Rupert is a long-standing member of ARPAS, very much involved in regulation, and also a OSC holder. So Rupert, welcome. And actually, we didn't plan on having such a perfect timing, but in a way it is. So what's the major news or your major email on your inbox today?
Yeah, so listen, thanks for inviting me on, and pleased to be with you. So exciting day, lots of emails from the CEA themselves with UK SORA 2.5. So as anticipated on the 3rd of March, we've got much more detail on what UK SORA 2.5 holds for us all, particularly the specific category, and looking forward to digging into it. We haven't really had time to do that to date because it's only just dropped, but looking forward to getting stuck in. Some 250 pages, I believe. And I think the critical thing at the moment for OSC holders to recognize is the big decision day is the 23rd of April. If you, including your 3-month anticipatory application window, if your renewal is coming up prior to the 23rd, you will have the choice of using the old OSC methodology. Alternatively, if it comes up for renewal, including the 3-month anticipatory period after the 23rd of April, you have to go down the UK SORA 2.5 route, and lots of help being proposed by the CEA, perhaps more details on that in a moment.
Yeah, and we also understand that the online tool, the new online tool, will be tested between, let's say, now and the 23rd of April by a select number of OSC holders and stakeholders. So we will also gain more insight in terms of the process, the all-inclusive package in a way, between the methodology itself and the application process as well in the coming weeks. So
yeah, absolutely. So I think the test period is going to be for those that have signed up, and I would highly encourage people to do that. It's a very useful process. Those that do the coding don't necessarily include people that are operators with an approval. So we would recommend that you test it. I believe the testing window is now closed, but those that are on it, we would recommend that you put the effort in to test the system to destruction.
Yeah, and the other piece of information we can share already is the training organized by the CAA. They intend to set up 2 webinars on their YouTube channel. Yeah. And then afterwards, their process will be one-on-one engagement, a sort of free advice. So we quote the free because it's an important part, free advice on a one-on-one basis with OSC holders to help them renew their application or start from scratch if there are new OSC, new SORA now, SORA authorization seekers.
What else? Absolutely. I think there are about 100. There are about 100 OSC holders. That's what the CEA is telling us. So it's really essential for those authorization holders to look at it.
Maybe the other piece of information we could share again today is that the major changes are for the OSC holders. There are no changes for PDRA1 holders, so roughly 3,000 drone operators in the UK, and no changes for the open category as well.
Yeah.
Now the work is starting in a way, because we have to print out those, I don't know, 280 pages, see what's in it. The CA had run a consultation, of course, back in July last year. We responded as ARPAS. We had a 17-page response to the consultation. And let's see, I mean, let's dig into the document and see what's in it. To be honest, we all know by now that the SORA methodology is a complex methodology. It will be an enabler for more complex operations, but it can also be extremely difficult for the lower risk operations. So, I mean, we're not going to comment live as the email is a few minutes old, but clearly we will look at a document with that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the other thing to bear in mind is that there will be some equipment implications, sale marking and what have you. I don't know if that's mentioned in the document that's just dropped, but keep an eye out for that, because particularly, you know, if you're applying for UK SORA 2.5, there may well be some equipment related puzzles to sort out, and as well as training and so on. So we all know that there's going to be a risk calculation, air risk and ground risk. That's another thing, but it'll all be in the 280 odd pages, I'm sure.
And maybe the final point we can share is that one of the major comment made at the time of the consultation is that the UK SORA had no mention of a generic location SORA, and that was a major issue for the community. But the CA had already emailed the community informing them that that point had been taken into consideration. So let's see precisely how it works out through the whole documentation. But just to say that that major red flag has been addressed or should have been addressed by the CAA.
Yep. Bit like atypical, site specific, you know, that's a bit the problem in reality from an economic perspective. So let's look and see what it says about that.
All right, so now we're going to be reading carefully the documentation. So, you know, perfect timing in a sense, Rupert. As part of the engagement with our members at ARPAS, we will be, of course, engaging with our members to have a collective feedback on UK SORA. If you're not a member yet, please join ARPAS. And whether you're a member or not, I think we'll have another of those sessions in the coming weeks because it's really an important moment for the drone community in the UK. And so we're really keen to make sure that everybody is aware, everybody is informed, so that the transition is as smooth as possible for the entire industry. All right.
Absolutely. Very good. We'll be back.
Thank you, Rupert.